It's fuel up time, fuel up time, fuel up time, where we're making zucchini grilled cheese. Oh yeah. I'm so excited to share this recipe with you guys. I know that when I was growing up, grilled cheese was my favorite after school meal. It's just something about it that's so yummy and comforting and good. So we're making our zucchini grilled cheese today. And I am joined by my amazing Teen Battle Chef Ambassador, Natalie. Natalie, can you introduce yourself?
Hi guys, my name is Natalie Morales. I'm 17 and I'm from the Bronx and I go to Careers and Sports High School.
So Natalie was in a program that we did called Work, Learn, Grow, and she's one of the best students. And because of that and her amazing love of food, we invited her to join our Teen Battle Chef Ambassador program, and she's done such an amazing job teaching me things about cooking every time we cook together. So there's some housekeeping items we've got to do before we get started cooking, right, Natalie?
Definitely. So the first few things you want to do is you want to make sure that when you're in the kitchen, your hair is either in a hairnet, you have a headband so that your hair is pushed back, or if you're like me, you just put it in a nice bun. That way no strands of our hair get in our food because that's unsanitary. Two, you want to make sure that you're washing your hands to the happy birthday song, not once, not twice. You want to make sure you're getting into your little nooks and crannies, especially if you have nails like me. The third thing you want to do is if you like being in the kitchen with long sleeves, you want to just roll them up to your elbows or above, like I am, because that's also we want to make sure that it's sanitary. You don't want to get anything on our sleeves and get any bacteria from our clothes on our food. And if you have any jewelry, you also want to take that off. We don't want any bacteria from our rings or our jewelry to get into our food. And if you like me and you like long nails, you also want to make sure that you're wearing gloves because you don't want to get any of the food in your nails and make it travel from one item to the other.
Exactly. Amazing synopsis. One other thing we want to do is to keep our kitchen zone a clean zone. So we want to have a garbage bowl to put our garbage in. So I have a little garbage bowl over here so I don't have to keep running back and forth to the garbage. It's all one place. And we're definitely going to be using knives today. So for everyone who has never used a knife before, you want to make sure that we're keeping our knife, holding our knife in a safe way. So we want to have all of our fingers firmly wrapped around the knife. You see all four of my fingers are wrapped around it. And then I have my thumb right where the blade meets the bottom of the knife, the handle. This is the strongest point of the knife. And if you have your hand in this position, you're going to keep yourself nice and safe and sturdy. We don't want to have your finger pointing on top because it actually loosens your grip. You can see there's only 3 fingers holding the knife versus 4. And this allows for us to move it around. We have Lainey and JoJo cooking together, which is awesome. So if you're cooking with a buddy, you want to make sure that you're keeping yourself and your friend safe. So if you're walking around with a knife, we keep your knife right by your side. And you don't have your knife sticking out behind you. You have it right down by your side. And if you walk behind your friend, you say knife behind. And this is a term that they use in kitchens all over the world. So you're like a real chef. So just make sure that you're keeping yourself and your friends safe as you cook. Okay, guys, we had to do the housekeeping items to keep yourself safe and to keep things calm and clean and collected. But now we're going to start talking about what we need to make this recipe. So we're going to go to the chef zone. Woo! So this is what we call mise en place. I was telling Lainey and JoJo about this earlier today. This is what all professional chefs do. It's called putting everything in place. So by having everything laid out in front of us, we can get into a flow and easily cook everything while we do this recipe. So for our sandwich, right, we need 2 pieces of bread or as many pieces, 2 pieces of bread per person. I have a whole grain sourdough. So we want to have breads that have lots of fiber. You can see that's brown, so it actually has more fiber in it. Using breads that have whole grain or whole wheat means it's going to keep you fuller for longer. It has more fiber. We also want to have our zucchini. Make sure that you have the zucchini washed and you've removed any sort of stickers on the outside. We don't want that in our sandwich. We also want some pesto. Another option is hummus if you don't have that, but pesto is a really yummy option to accentuate the flavors of zucchini, and it creates a binding option. It's a moist ingredient. We also, I'm going to be using cherry tomatoes because I love the combination of tomatoes and cheese. It's kind of like the tomato soup and grilled cheese option, which I think is classic. And then I'm going to be using 2 different kinds of cheeses today. So I have a sharp cheddar for a really nice, strong flavor. I like that as a base. And then I also have a goat cheese. And this is going to be nice and creamy and delicious. But you can use any combinations of cheeses that you want. You just want to make sure that you're covering the circumference of your bread. And then, of course, I have my kale, which I blanched. You don't have to do that, though. You just want to make sure that your kale is cut up into really small pieces so that it cooks while it's on the griddle. Okay? Also, some things that might be fun to have are some salt and pepper for some extra ingredients and spices. Okay, so now that we know what we need to cook, I think it's time we get started, don't you think?
Definitely.
Awesome. So we're gonna go back down to the chef zone. Woohoo! And the first thing that we're gonna do is cut up our zucchini. Make sure you guys can see that. Awesome. So the first thing I'm gonna do is chop off the top, and then I'm gonna use a tunnel, which is a professional knife skill. It allows for us to keep a ingredient that is topsy-turvy and rolly, nice and sturdy. So we place our hand on top of the ingredient, and then we place our other hand holding the knife between the tunnel, and then we use our body weight to cut down and through. And this way, we are able to cut long ways to create a nice sturdy surface. And now I'm going to use, you can use this tunnel again to keep it nice and sturdy. So I'm going to use the tunnel again to make lengthwise long pieces of the zucchini. And that way I have these all segmented. I'm actually going to cut these again one more time. So I'm going to put them all together. And now I'm going to use what I call a bear claw. So I'm going to see actually the size of my bread, and I want to be able to layer it. So I'm going to cut it about in the middle to make sure that it fits on my bread. And you can see when you cut open the zucchini that it's pretty moist, right? And we want to actually pull some of that moisture out. So how we're going to do that? First, we're going to get a paper towel and just dab it to remove some of the moisture. You can actually see on the paper towel the moisture come out. I actually want these to be a little thinner, so I'm going to do matchsticks. That way, when you cut things into smaller pieces, they cook at a faster rate. And since my kale pieces are really small, I want to make sure that my zucchini is cooking at a similar time. And I think, let me, huh? Yeah, so I'm going to actually, this is a good way to kind of see how everything's going to fit on here, right? So I'm going to do a little layering on top. See how everything fits? Looks good. And also notice that they are going to shrink a little bit when you cook them on the grill. So I already dabbed them to remove the moisture. The next thing I'm going to do, I haven't put anything in my garbage bowl yet, so I'm going to use this as a bowl. And I'm going to put a little bit of salt on top of it. Salt actually draws moisture out of ingredients. Before we had refrigeration, they would put salt on meat to make it keep longer. And it would pull the moisture out of the meat, and the moisture in the meat is what actually makes the meat go bad. So by putting the salt on the zucchini, it's pulling the moisture out. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start grilling up my zucchini. Whoop. So I'm going to start my stove. I'm going to put olive oil on, about 1 tablespoon. A quick tip about using olive oil with a tablespoon. If you go 1 Mississippi, it's about a tablespoon equivalent, a rough equivalent. All right. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper in here. Hey, Natalie, how's it going for you?
I cut mine into like little sticks. I don't know if you can see. Yeah. Because I kind of liked it better this way, and I'm just putting the salt on it, and then I'm going to put the olive oil on my pan, and I'm going to start cooking my zucchini with you.
How are you customizing your sandwich. What cheeses are you using and how are you making yours different?
So I'm using mozzarella cheese. I love mozzarella cheese. I'm always using American cheese for grilled cheese, so I decided to change it. And I'm using 100% whole wheat multi-grain bread, the brand from Arnold. It's really good. It tastes just like when you toast it, it tastes just like regular bread. Like you wouldn't even know that it's whole wheat. I'm also using Barilla pesto.
Yeah.
It was good. I tried it yesterday, and instead of kale, I kind of prefer spinach more, so I'm gonna put some spinach along with the zucchini on the grilled cheese.
Yeah, any greens will work for this. So if you have kale, if you have spinach, you have arugula, any of those types of greens would work. I'm gonna do this for about another minute just to get them softened. And then we're gonna start layering on our ingredients on our sandwich. One of the reasons why I particularly like this recipe for after school is it's full of cheese, right? Cheese is so good, and it's full of a vitamin called B12, which is really good for our brains. It helps keep our brains functioning at their best. So if you're trying to keep yourself fueled up and getting ready to do homework after school, this is a really good option to make for yourself. How are you doing over there, London? Looks like you guys you're doing cooking away. How are you making yours? Oh,
Go ahead, tell her what you're doing.
what are you guys doing for your grilled cheese?
So London is just basically you want to use the pesto and the cheese. So we cut the zucchini up, so she's gonna put some of those on. She's gonna probably decide if she want to put the tomatoes on last or not.
Huh? Nice. Yeah. Well, that's smart. We could even cook our tomatoes. I love that.
Yes.
So we're getting to a point where the zucchini is ready. And you can see that there's a little bit of a char on the outside of the zucchini. Getting a little bit browned, right? So from looking at that, it looks like it's about ready to come out. So I'm going to put it into a bowl. And I love London's idea of actually cooking the tomatoes. So I'm going to chop those up really quick.
I'm gonna keep my tomatoes raw. I kind of like how they feel cold.
I'm actually gonna shut my thing off because it's so hot. It doesn't need to be on for me to cook my tomatoes. I don't have a serrated knife with me right now, but a fun fact, serrated knives are actually a really good way to cut tomatoes because they cut through the skin a lot better than regular knives do. So putting those on, you can see I don't even have the heat on, and it's cooking these up really nice.
Cast iron whole heat.
Cast iron whole heat because it's full of iron. So if you have anybody in your family that has anemia or issues with being really cold all the time, cooking with cast iron is a really good way to include iron into your diet because your food actually absorbs iron from the cast iron pan, which is awesome. Yum. If you wanted to get really fun and crazy, you could even put the pesto on as you're cooking it to get the pesto really into all of your ingredients. But the pesto is definitely going to be on everything as we layer it onto our bread.
Nicole says she cooks her zucchini with garlic, and I think that's smart. I'm gonna have to try that one day.
I think I saw that from her video. It was awesome.
How much garlic do you put, Nicole?
I think she put 1 clove, right? Yeah, that's all you need. Garlic goes a long way.
Definitely. Okay, so my zucchini is ready. I'm gonna take mine out.
Just gonna do a quick. Yeah.
The mitts behind you, if you want to use the mitt.
I just want to get the tomatoes out.
Okay.
So they don't
in
get on
case
the-
you want to hold the hand.
Yeah. All right, so now that I have all of my ingredients cooked up and prepped, we're now going to start building our sandwich. Are we all at a point where people want to build sandwiches? Or are people working on their zucchini? What's going on with you, Michaela? What is up with you, Esther? You guys cooking still?
Yeah, I'm dicing up my tomatoes.
Okay, cool. I'll wait a little bit longer so we can all do it together. It's gonna be more fun when you do it together.
The reason why we have these Zoom classes.
Exactly. So while we're waiting for everybody to make delicious zucchini, we're gonna have some fun facts for you guys. So one of the reasons why we're including these vegetables like kale and zucchini in this recipe is that they're sources of fiber, antioxidants, and vitamins A and C. So they're really, really good for our immune system, which is gonna keep us nice and strong. And it's really good as we're changing seasons, because a lot of people get seasonal allergies, right? As we're shifting from winter into spring, a lot of people get runny noses and stuff. So it's good to keep our immunity up as we're coming into springtime. And kale is also another great source of calcium. So not only are we getting calcium from the cheese, but we're also getting calcium from the kale, which is awesome. And tomatoes are a really good source of the antioxidant lycopene, which gives it its red tone. And that is not coincidence, because the red tone of it is actually really good for your blood. It's amazing how nature imitates your body, what's actually good for your body. So cooking tomatoes actually increases the amount of lycopene absorbed into your body. So it's actually really good that we cooked up these tomatoes so that we can get all those amazing antioxidants. So we have a poll question for you guys. Have you guys ever eaten a grilled cheese with green vegetables in it before? I'd love to hear.
Personally, I can say I have never.
Never before this?
Nope, never before yesterday when I test trialed it. I never had any greens in my grilled cheese.
Wow. Well, there's a first time for everything.
And I didn't regret it, so definitely.
All right, I'm gonna do 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, end the poll. So none of you have ever had a grilled cheese with a vegetable in it before. Wow, that's amazing. Well, I'm so excited for you guys to try this for the first time. It's honestly gonna change how you cook grilled cheeses forever, I promise. The pairing of zucchini and cheese is just a magical combination. So I also have another question for you guys. Was the grilled cheese sandwich invented in 1915 by the same guy who invented Kraft singles? Is that true or false? Who do you think? So I have a fun fact about Kraft. I was born in Canada, and in Canada, people love Kraft products so much that they call macaroni and cheese, not macaroni and cheese, but Kraft dinner. Yeah, that's how much they love mac and cheese. They're like the most, I probably eat the most mac and cheese per capita of like any in the world. Don't come between a Canadian and the real mac and cheese. All right, we're gonna end the poll. Dun, 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 dun. So 3 of you say true. We have true and false. So most of you say that it's false. So actually, it's true. The grilled cheese sandwich was invented by James L. Kraft after making a pasteurized processed cheese that could travel without being refrigerated. So it was basically a way for him to show, like, I made this amazing product, and now I want you guys to try it in this awesome recipe. And he forever changed the way that we use cheese. But we don't have to use Kraft cheese because it doesn't have that much nutrients, right? So I'm going to use our goat cheese and our sharp cheddar. So actually, I'm going to show you a way to prepare your cheddar. So we want all of our ingredients to cook at an even rate. So I'm going to chop my my cheddar into very thin slices using my bear claw. And for all those who haven't used bear claw before, we're taking our hand, our non-dominant hand, and turning it into a bear claw and tucking our fingers underneath. Then we take the other our knife and put it up against our knuckles, but our little fingers are tucked underneath so they're going to be nice and safe. And then we chop down. The bear claw allows for us to keep our ingredients in place. So the cheese won't really be moving around a lot. For other ingredients, like if you were to chop up our kale or other kinds of vegetables, allows for us to keep our ingredients in place as we're chopping. And so it's good to practice those good habits. So I'm just going to place my cheese on top just to see how it lays out before I layer all my ingredients out. And it looks like we have the exact amount of cheese that I need to cover it.
Looks delicious already.
Yes, it's only going to get better.
While she does her thin slices, I decided to shred my cheese. I think it would be more effective for me and it would melt faster. So if you have a grater, you could grate your cheese, or you could do like Stephanie, and you could just decide that you want to thin slice it, whatever creativity fits you.
Exactly. So to set the stage for my grilled cheese, I'm going to lay out my pesto on the bottom. It's going to be our delicious, yummy foundation. So you can make pesto at home. It's actually a very easy recipe to do. You just take a green like kale, spinach, or arugula and combine it with a nut. So that can be an almond, walnuts, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, some sort of nut that gives it a really delicious nutty quality. And if you want to, you can also put cheese in it, like Parmesan cheese. Then you put olive oil and any of the other yummy spices that you like. And then you make pesto, you put it in a blender, bada bing, bada boom, you got a homemade sauce. So I have my pesto on the bottom, and now I'm gonna start layering my cheese.
I'm making one, so I decided yesterday, I tried it and I put pesto on both sides of my bread, and I actually like the way it came out.
Awesome. The fun thing about making food yourself is you can customize it exactly the way that you want it, right?
Definitely.
So I'm gonna do a literal sandwich technique. So I'm gonna put my cheddar there. Next layer, I'm gonna put my zucchini. Ooh, layers of flavor. Because then on top, I'm gonna put my goat cheese for creamy, yummy goodness. Let's put this up a little bit. Boop. So we actually have another way to use zucchini that's with cheese. It's called a zucchini lasagna roll-up. And that's another recipe you can find on the website. It's a way to make a lasagna that doesn't take an hour. It takes like half an hour. Okay, got my hands all dirty. Next layer is our goat cheese. Woo! So I like to sprinkle it all over the top. Boop, 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 boop. Yum. And I don't need to cover it because the cheese is going to melt. Next layer is our kale. And I'm going to show you guys a tip to make sure that all your ingredients are cooking evenly as you're grilling. If you see these little kale stems, I'd recommend that you remove them because they're very tough and they're not going to make your sandwich taste very yummy. So I'm going to go through all of my kale leaves and make sure that the stems are taken off.
I'm just breaking up my spinach a little bit. That way it could be even on my bread.
Nice. So taking all the kale stems out so I'm not getting a big bite of a big piece of fiber. And the next final layer is our tomatoes. Dun, 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 dun. Something so relaxing about putting together a sandwich. I don't know why.
Especially when it's your own.
Yeah.
Ooh, almost forgot my zucchini.
All right. Oh, yum. London, that was such a good call of grilling the tomatoes. It takes it to the next level. This is why it's so fun to cook together, because we learn things from each other. All right, so I'm gonna put my olive oil in the pan. Turn it on. Put my last piece of my bread on top. Press it down. And then I'm going to put it, I'm actually going to make sure that all of the olive oil is evenly spread. So I'm going to get a mitt because the cast iron, the heat spreads everywhere. I want to make sure that we're keeping ourselves safe. And I'm going to put my sandwich in. Now I want all of my ingredients to cook. So I'm going to put a cover on top. This allows for the steam of the heat to completely envelop our sandwich so that everything cooks at an even rate. The goal is for our sandwich to stay together when we flip it. So we got to make sure that all the cheese melts to connect and to make our grilled cheese stay together as we flip it. How's everyone doing? Doing good? London looks like they're doing an amazing job.
Good.
Yay! Danielle looks like she's doing an awesome job.
Did I put this in the pan now?
It's not ready yet, no.
Oops.
Esther looks like she's doing great. We got pros in here.
Just laying up my cheese again.
This is the hardest part. Ooh! London, it's cooking away. It looks so good. The hardest part of cooking is waiting. You gotta wait.
Definitely.
Ready.
I think about doing this. It's not.
Oh, look at that. Daniel's looking awesome. That's gonna be delicious.
No.
Oh, Max, what happened? You did it. You're done already? How'd you finish so fast? That's amazing. We got an overachiever.
Well, the air fryer is my best friend.
Oh, that's awesome. You're like a whole nother level.
Put it in. Joe.
I don't know what to
That's it. You got it. Just come all the way up. Yep.
Woo!
There you go.
Woo! I just did a perfect flip. That was very stressful.
Lower the heat just a little.
I'm gonna lower the heat because it's hot. We'll do a couple more minutes and then it's gonna be done. What? The hardest part of this recipe is getting all your ingredients, and then once you got it all together, you're ready to go. That's what mise en place is so awesome.
Daddy, you need to show them.
It's cooked. Well, in a minute.
I was
You want to
about
ask her?
Let's flip it.
God.
Couple more minutes.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun.
That was good though, but it really was.
La la. Look at that char. Steamy, smoky, yummy.
That's true.
You can see the ingredients on the inside.
This is done. Whoa.
Yummy.
It's looking good.
Yay! So now we can cut it in half. Actually,
Ooh, now we got it.
serrated knife, huh?
Yours is not ready.
Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Using a serrated knife allows for you to cut through bread a lot easier. So we're gonna do a tunnel. Whoop.
Yep.
That's from American.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
Imagine how many cheeses.
How is yours looking, Stephanie?
Look at
Oh,
that.
Whoa.
Let me check this.
See all the different.
Ooh, that looks good.
Yeah. Yum yum.
Mhm.
I didn't cook it as
Looks
fast as that,
yummy.
though. I don't have an air fryer.
Yeah, he beat us all with the air fryer.
He came ready to cook.
Oh, we're done.
He definitely did.
Let's see. Yes, that looks amazing. Oh, did you do a double decker?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. You guys did not come. You didn't like. You guys were ready. That's amazing. That
I-
was like,
Joe, get out of here, please. Joe.
I am almost done.
Mm.
oh my god, London's. Oh my gosh. There's so much.
Mm. It's so good.
Yay.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Tila's. Oh my gosh.
This is the best grilled cheese I've ever made.
Yay. Next, grilled cheese. The best grilled cheese.
We
Ever.
love it.
I want to eat it.
Is Natalie ready?
Almost.
Almost?
Yeah, I'm waiting for my cheese to melt a little bit more. I don't want to put my fire on too high to burn the bread.
You guys, I'm so happy. It's so good. Oh my gosh. Woo! So, fun fact about me, I love grilled cheese so much, but I had a grilled cheese party back in the day. And it had all the selection of different kinds of cheeses and different kinds of ingredients you could put on top, like apples and pears and all kinds of stuff. Like Tila said,
Mhm.
I think that this is all of the ones that I made at my grilled cheese party, which is saying a lot. Because I made a lot of grilled cheeses. Like a lot. Like a lot.
Emphasis on a lot.
I'm making this again tomorrow.
Hey! And you know what's happening over there? Ooh! Oh my gosh, what? Yes, it's amazing. Everyone's amazing. You guys all win. I don't know who's gonna win the poll, but I want to eat all your sandwiches.
Definitely. They all look so good.
Lady and JoJo, yeah! Amazing. I can't wait till you guys try it. It's so good.
Try it.
I want to try it.
Time to eat sandwiches. Oh, oh yeah.
Mine is ready. Don't put it.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. London, don't think you're so happy over there eating your sandwich. Double decker sandwich. I'm honestly just blown away. I can't believe you guys pulled it off. Esther, how's your sandwich? Does it looks like you like it?
It's very good.
Wow.
Good.
It's gonna be hard to choose, you guys. But we've gotten to the point where we need to decide who won the battle.
Look
Let
at
me
this.
show you guys my finished results.
Natalie, I want to see
Have
your,
my tomatoes on top.
let me see. Oh, whoa, we got food art over here. Looks amazing.
Can't wait to try it. I try to cut mine the triangular way.
Oh, nice. Claire, have we added everybody to the poll?
Yes.
Let's do it.
No.
So who won?
Correct. How about Stephanie? I think
Good one.
it's a top.
It's so because there's so many amazing sandwiches out there.
What? Next.
I guess I'll eat a sandwich, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna eat this whole thing.
Haven't tried mine yet.
I don't understand why you constantly have to question everything I do and tell me I'm
All right,
wrong.
who's gonna win?
One.
One more person vote. You got it? Mm-hmm. All right, countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The end. Michaela, you won, girl. Woo!
Congrats, Michaela.
Congrats.
You
There's
won.
no only person. Or Max.
You won. Honestly, we all won though, because we all get to eat this sandwich, right?
And it's super delicious.
London came.
London, you came in second with your double decker.
Hi, my car was in today and I got a call saying it was done, but I'm not gonna be there when the time closed. I was wondering if you leave the keys in the car.
Woo. Woo. I'm so happy, you guys. Just go cheese just get my life. And I don't
I'm
see-
gonna pair this grilled cheese up with some passion fruit juice, and it's gonna be delicious.
What is that?
So I'm gonna pair this grilled cheese up with some passion fruit juice, and it's gonna be the bomb.
Meal, if I ever heard of it. All right, guys. Well, the fun doesn't end here. You know what you got to do? You got to make this again because I know I ate mine immediately. So if you guys want to win our prize, make sure that you take a picture of your beautiful, beautiful grilled cheese. Upload it to Instagram. Tag @FilmAClickNYC and the American Dairy Council, any. And use the hashtag FuelUpTVC by Friday, and you can win our prize. What? We're winning all kinds of prizes today. You're getting NFL swag from Fuel Up. You're getting prizes from us. Oh, and you can follow us at FamilyClickNYC, and then not David, but Natalie at Treats by Nat. And then next slide, we have more fun coming at you next week at 4 p.m. We're making berry pancakes. Again, we're taking pancakes and bringing it to a whole new level by putting berries in the sauce, putting berries in the pancakes. It's going to be so good. So make sure that you guys sign up for that. And we would love to see you guys there and chef it up with you again. Thank you so much for coming in and cooking it up with us. It's so much fun to see you guys make all of your recipes in your own way. And you guys really showed up today. London double decorating, Michaela making it look beautiful and delicious.
Max with the air fryer.
Yeah, you came in and made it your own, and it was so amazing to watch. So thank you so much for coming, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
At 4 o'clock.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you
Bye,
very much.
guys.
Bye.